Hello guys and welcome back to episode number 44 of the Arsenal Career Mode. Hopefully you guys have had a great weekend. You should be seeing this on Monday. I am actually recording this on the Wednesday last week due to I am going on holiday, and by the time you see this I'll be back anyway, but I've made all these videos in advance, so I'm quite far ahead of the schedule right now. But we are starting the Premier League season today, and we do start with the North London derby away from home at Spurs at White Hart Lane. Should be a good game. Obviously, in the last episode we brung in Mario Götze, and did we bring in anyone else? We put a bid in for Pedro, which is waiting to be accepted. We also signed Laporta and Van der Wiel, so it's been a very busy transfer window. As you can see, the main team does not look too much like the standard one you get, and a lot of you may be concerned about that, but that's because the team just isn't strong enough. Now, we start off here perfectly. Mario Götze going down in the area, gets an injury, but then we managed to get a penalty from, I believe it's Asu Akoto, takes down, I can't remember the play, we'll have to have a look in the replay in a second, but I was absolutely shocked, 15 minutes into the game against Spurs, and Götze had an impact in there, and then it was actually Giovanni who got the foul, but Götze was taken on in the area anyway. Thankfully he isn't injured, and he does step up to take the penalty. Will Mario Götze on his debut within 15 minutes score a penalty? Yes, he will. He is going to be a beast. In this first few games that I used him in, he is absolutely incredible, and that kind of gives it away for the rest of the episode, but he is just fantastic. So glad we managed to get him instead of Ozil. I know Ozil is a really good player in real life, and I really do like Ozil, especially in Ultimate Team as well, but unfortunately with the way that the old career mode works, with the the amount of fixtures we have to play, Ozil's just cannot hack it. His stamina is so poor, and that was the reason that he had to leave the club. But I am fully okay with that, just because of how well Mario Götze has done for me in the 2 games that you see this episode. He is just an absolute tank. And Spurs always having Doumbia, he was a bit of a pain, and look at this, just getting absolutely mugged off. I really wanted to start the season off well. We are going to be mainly focusing on the league this season. I'm not going to be too bothered with the Capital One Cup. We do go in at half time though, 1-0 up against Spurs due to the penalty, and Götze there setting Walcott up. Will he get Walcott an assist? Yes, he will. And unfortunately guys, I'm not selling Theo Walcott, so the deal for Marco Reus that we put in, which includes Theo Walcott, if it gets accepted after this game, we are not going to accept it. I want to keep Theo. He's just such a good player, and I'd rather get Pedro, to be honest. Reus is very generic. Everyone signs Reus, so I feel that it'd be a bit different to sign Pedro. I know he's still fairly, well signed and generic, but I would still like to sign Pedro over Reus. So Walcott will be staying at the club, and I love Theo, and I just couldn't bear to let him go unless he wants to go, And you can see there the offer for Marco Reus was accepted. I completely forgot about it until we got to here, and I was like, oh shit, I did think about it a little bit, but I just thought, what's the point in signing Reus? Walcott is doing so well for us, and I still want to keep him, but if I buy Pedro, I can have Walcott as well, and Pedro can be on the wing, and he has 4-star. It's going to be a trouble to do the rotation this season, because we have Mario Mandzukic, Dos Santos and Welbeck fighting for striker, and they're all going to get upset if they don't play. We have Pedro, Sanchez, Chamberlain, Wellington Silva, Walcott. There's quite a lot of wingers as well, so it's going to be a real task to fit everyone in. You can see the amount of players we have at the club right now, just in this little sped up clip here of me putting Pedro into the team. And I definitely think we are going to be having to sell some players. I do actually end up putting Loic Perrin on the transfer list, the centre back, just because I want to try and get rid of some players. Morgan Schneiderlin will be someone else who is going to be, hopefully, I can get rid of, because although he starts this game, we just have too many players now. I've brought in a lot of players in this summer transfer window, as you guys know, and it's mainly to improve the team. But I do want to try my best to keep everyone having fair game time. I'm going to sort out the kit numbers in a minute. I once recorded this commentary, I've got it loaded up, I've noticed it in this. It's really doing my head in. Some of the kit numbers are just completely awful. But I don't want to keep too many players, because obviously we have brought in, I think, 4 players so far. So it is quite a lot to change, and the team in general has been changed around a lot. So we definitely do need to move some players on as well. We have such a big squad here at Arsenal, and unfortunately it seems a real pain. I'm having the same issue that Docs has with his career mode, where he can't loan players out, and it's just impossible for me to loan anyone out at the moment, which is really frustrating. So I am trying my best to loan people out, but unfortunately it's just not working. And Sami Khedira here, we go into a game against Stoke in the Premier League, second Premier League game of the season. Hopefully looking for another 3 points on our way to hopefully challenging for the title this season. and just doing as well as possible really, but the title is going to be our main aim. The Capital One Cup isn't going to be too much of an aim. I am probably going to sim most of it, and look at Alexis Sanchez here, starting his season off in style. He did play in the last game, but second game in he grabs himself a goal, and hopefully he can continue in the form that he was in last season. Obviously now an 86 overall, which is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, this career mode was started on the old update, so Sanchez started at an 84, not an 85, so he has done very well since we have joined Arsenal, and he is just doing absolutely fantastically, and hopefully can continue. And again, Mario Götze just a real influence into this team. I feel like it was a lot like when Ozil joined Arsenal at first. It gave the team such a big boost, and I feel that's kind of what it's done to this team now. Bringing in all these players has given the team a good boost. We've got good chemistry together already. I'm really enjoying using the new players like Laporta and Van der Wiel, Götze, Pedro as well. Pedro is just fantastic. Having a left winger now, a dedicated left winger as well, not like, you know, Chamberlain, who's generally a right midfielder. Having a dedicated left winger in the team is so important, and I really think Arsenal need to do that in real life. We don't have a left midfielder properly. We obviously have Lucas Podolski, who is out on loan at Inter Milan, and in this series we sold him. I don't know why Arsenal don't sign someone like Pedro in real life, because we are in desperate need of a left winger, but we just have not signed one. But anyway, we do actually end up winning that game, and unfortunately I skipped the animation at the end, which I normally show you. I was pressing A because Pedro had the ball, so I was trying to shoot or whatever, and I skipped the animation by accident. But nevertheless, we do end up winning the game 1-0 and picking up another 3 points. And you can see here, the board are happy with our performance, which is a bit strange 2 games into me complaining about that. But Welbeck does come to me and say, look, I want to get more game time. This wasn't what was offered to me in my contract, and that's fair enough. It is going to be a struggle, and I might end up selling either Mandzukic or Welbeck in the January transfer window. I'm not too sure yet, depending what their kind of feelings are towards the club. But anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed, if we could smash 5 likes, that'd be absolutely awesome. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you guys in the next episode very soon.